Hey everyone, I'm Michael Short. Come on, let's go outdoors. You know, over the years I've heard many reasons why people enjoy getting in the outdoors and picking up an activity like hunting. But this next story is something special. It goes beyond just, oh, I like to do it. I think in many ways this activity of hunting and the story of a son and a father goes much deeper. I hope you enjoy it. And I can't think of a better story going into the Thanksgiving long weekend than one like this. Well, I think it's safe to say the crossbow is sighted in. Given the challenges this young man has had to face over the years with his health, it's pretty remarkable that he and his father Geoff can spend some quality time hunting together.
Jack started off as, a normal boy, essentially. And I get emotional because when I think back about it, he went through a lot. And I couldn't imagine myself going through in a lifetime what he has gone through in such a short period of time.
While still relatively young, Jax began to develop hearing loss. He started to have difficulties walking, countless visits to the hospital to undergo a battery of tests. He was finally diagnosed with a hereditary paraplegia. Through all this time and challenges, there was one activity Jax gravitated towards, and that was hunting with his father.
I get to spend time with him outdoors, doing fun things with him, like hunting, going shooting with the gun and crossbow. It can be challenging sometimes, but you can make fun out of it.
Getting Jax outdoors is away from his normal life, from what he's lived for basically half of his life, where it's been hospital rooms and can't do this and can't eat that, and it's something he loves. So, as his height and weight changes and as his disability changes, I do everything I can to make sure that he still has an opportunity to come out here and share these moments with us. I look back on the times that we've shared in this field that we're about to hunt tonight to other fields and other times where we've had animals in close, our times out at bear camp, our special trip that we took out to the Laurentian Mountains in Quebec where he was able to take a red stag. I have lots of memories of the bush, and a lot of them include him.
Yet there was one more hurdle the family would have to face as Jack started to show signs of kidney failure. Not wanting to subject him to more hospital visits, his parents set up the dialysis equipment at home. However, in the winter of 2012, things took a turn for the worse.
And it was December, and his blood counts weren't good. And he went in for regular checkup, regular blood work, and the doctors told us he ain't going home, which was really hard to take. From that point on, it was determined that his kidneys had indeed failed, and he was going to be put on dialysis. We weren't ready. We weren't ready for it, but we got our strength from him. He put on a brave face, and you'll notice from meeting him today, he's got a great smile and a great attitude.
For Geoff, there was little to no question of what was going to happen next.
And then we went through testing to see, hey, how can we get a match for him? So like anyone would do, I put up my hand and I said, hey, am I a match? So after about 4 or 5 months of testing, they determined that I was a match, and on November 13th of 2013, we shared an operating room and I gave him the gift of life.
With most of his health issues now in check, Jax has spent more time enjoying the opportunity to get outdoors. Yet every hunt has to be carefully planned out.
As an avid hunter myself, and speaking with other outdoors men and women, we know how tough it can be in the field, not seeing anything, being in the perfect spot at the perfect time. And I understand how hard it is as an able-bodied person to have, I guess, what we'll call a successful hunt. So for him, with limited mobility, he wears hearing aids, so he can't hear in the wind. He can't hear animals. I try to whisper to him. He'll be like, "What?" And it's that much more challenging where you and I have a radius where if we're in a bow or a rifle and we have a pretty much a 360-degree view of where we have to get to. Jax is confined to his electric scooter that he hunts on a tripod, so his range of window is literally 25 yards. So I have to be able to scout an area, see where the deer are traveling or whatever game we're hunting is traveling, find out what time they come, get him into position early enough and quiet enough. Before we had the scooter, I used to quad him in, but you can imagine bow hunting and quadding into the area that you're hunting in doesn't make for a very entertaining evening. So a lot of work, a lot of gear for me to pack. Sometimes it's not easy, but knowing that he gets so much enjoyment out of it, I will never stop doing it.
Recognizing all the support that he's received over the years to go hunting, Jax has decided to give something back. And he's been a camp counselor out at Narrow Lake at the Alberta Fish and Game Association's youth camp.
It's fun, it's relaxing, but it's a lot of work because you're teaching new kids about hunting. Because you're teaching them about guns, you're teaching them about archery, what the safety of it and what to do and what not to do. So it's really important that some kids go out there and some don't. If you're into hunting, go to Narrow Lake because it can take practice. Just like you can get everything. You can get your power, you can get your boulders.
There is no question being a hunter with special needs can create a unique set of challenges. But Geoff believes the province is on the right path when it comes to making allowances for hunters like his son.
The community and supporting disabled hunters, I feel it's very reasonable. It's good. He's got special permits where he's able to use his crossbow during an archery season. Of course, that goes with some medical reports from doctors, and you have to apply to Fish and Wildlife, and they approve that permit all the time. So they put certain procedures, programs in place to allow him to have a chance with me, and that I'm grateful for, because he can shoot a compound bow. He learned how to shoot a compound bow at Narrow Lake, and he's shooting groups that tight, and everyone's looking at him like, how are you doing that? You're doing it from a wheelchair. We thought, okay, well, maybe it's just fluke. We moved him up on the side of a hill, spot through a little bit of trees, and he's still shooting our 3D targets in a group that big. He's got a natural raw talent for it, but he can't pull back the 40 pounds for a crossbow, which makes it legal to hunt. So I'm glad and thankful that the government has put in place for someone who's disabled that's not able to draw that kind of weight back can use a crossbow. That gives him the opportunity to come out on those warmer days, because as we know, once November hits, we get cold. And for someone who can't move and someone who gets colder quicker than others, not enjoyable for him. So that allows us to be in the field together and gives him an opportunity to harvest animals. So yeah, it's hard on me. It's a lot more work for me, but knowing the excitement and the joy that he gets out of it, I won't stop. I talk to landowners. I have great landowners. I say, hey, here's what I'm looking to do. Do you mind if we do this? I have a son in a wheelchair who hunts from an electric scooter, and they're like, yeah, absolutely. So I really have to be very selective with where I'm putting him. I don't want to leave him in any kind of danger, and by danger I mean stranded out in the bush when it's cold, can't get him back to the truck. I can't put him up in a tree stand, but I can put him in a ground blind. So obviously safety is paramount with him out in the bush, and more steps for me, but it's the only way I know. That's how I've been doing it for years. It's the only way I know.